Well, I'm going to beat the crap out of this thing and I'll find out if it really does work. So what in the world am I talking about? This one is called Pathway North Folding Shovel and Axe Multi-Tool Set. So I always carry a hatchet. I always carry a shovel. But this is a kit that contains everything all in one. You just kind of take it apart. And you're getting it in this tiny package. And if you live in a car, a minivan, SUV, getting the tiny package might be worth it to you. And it's cool. That's basically it. It's cool. So let's look at it. So it's just what would be considered a normal, standard folding shovel. The military has depended on these. Many millions of U.S. soldiers and other soldiers have bet their life on one of these, getting into a foxhole as soon as they possibly could. Comes with its own little sheath. And then it comes with these 3 holes here. Those will hold a certain size nut, 3 different size nuts. So you can use it as a wrench. Multi-tool, they claim it's a multi-tool. On this side, we have saw blades, and that looks like some pretty vicious teeth. I think that might actually work. And this tool is a wire cutter and a hex spanner. Okay, so I've got the whole thing assembled because it's got a bunch of hidden features inside it. Take it apart, and the first tool you come to, a pretty good knife. It's got a kind of a saw across the saw teeth, so that comes off of there, and then at the back here, this comes off, and inside I've got this little, it's a straight screwdriver. Same thing, plastic bit here, goes in. You would unscrew this, screw this back in. And then at the very back here, you have a compass. And these little button compasses, you know, you think they're cheap crap, but all it has to do is point north. And if it will point north, and in this case it really is, that's north, then this button compass could save your life. And it's here, it's with you. One more tool that you're not you haven't seen yet. This is a fire starter. I'll actually try it. These things work super well. It's also a whistle. Could that save your life? In the right circumstances, it sure could. Each of these tubes is hollow. And so you could pack a little tiny fishing kit with some line, some hooks, some lead weights into a 1-quart bag, and then just shove that in here. Both sides are free. You can push it out easily. And you could easily be carrying around a nice little fishing kit. You could do the same thing with all kinds of Band-Aids, ibuprofen, just all kinds of things. Another thing you can add is a couple of Bic lighters wrapped in duct tape so it fits in there nicely, and some cotton ball doused in Vaseline in another quart or sandwich bag or whatever, and they stuck in here. And between those fire starters, or Vaseline and cotton balls, you're starting to fire. This really is a pretty practical survival toolkit. That works pretty darn well, I'd have to say, and it all's going to fit in. I'll fit it all in this little bag, and so it's not taking up any room. So next, to put on the axe, all you have to do is take off the shovel head, and then you can screw in your axe. Okay, and then what have you got? You've got a nice long-handled axe, hatchet. And so the cover comes out, got a nice hammer head here, and what looks to be a fine hatchet. Does it work well? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll beat the crap out of it and see if it holds up. So again, what I love about it is that it's so small. Next we'll try to fit it all in this bag, and then we'll beat the crap out of it. Okay, so we took a little break because I didn't know how long it would take to do this. Actually, this was the easiest thing we've done so far. It's simple. I mean, this is the whole tool. And this is a lot of tools in a tiny space. And if you're in a car, you'll be delighted to have this small a thing with this many useful purposes. I gotta say, that's pretty handy. The only question is it any good? And that's a question that only abuse can answer. So let the abuse begin. So that's just my first thing I've ever done with it. I've dug a cat hole here. It's a good 6-8 inches deep. So if I just wanted a quick cat hole with this, So I've been chopping here on this log for 8 minutes. Actually, I don't think that's too bad for 8 minutes. The point is, if it's an emergency and the only thing I have here that works is that hatchet, could I cut this tree off of a road that is blocking me? And the answer is absolutely yes. This took me 20 minutes. If I had to do it once and then it was still too heavy and I had to do it again and then had to roll it off, I could easily have done that. What I would probably do is I would wrap it with hockey stick tape. You know, that stuff goes on there and bonds really hard. And it's also sticky, but not like this knurling. As of right now, my conclusion is this is a good tool. This would be a tool if it was the only thing you had and you had to get out, you had the medical emergency and a tree's falling over your road. This will do the job. All right, now we're ready for a conclusion on what I think of this. I've dug, probably 4 or 5 holes with it, and I used the hatchet to split across about an 8-inch, 6, 7, 8-inch log. It was long and hard and tedious, but it always is, but it got the job done. It dug the holes just fine. As a shovel, I think it works well. As a hatchet, it worked fine. It comes with a knife. So I folded it all up and it's back in this size, and that's impressive. For a lot of you, space, for all of us, if you're a nomad, having space is our big struggle. And to have these emergency tools in this size of a bag, I think is a very handy thing. Now, I am an enormous believer in carrying a shovel. I think we should all carry shovels. And this one's a Black & Decker. I paid a little bit more for it. I believe this is $30 right now on Amazon. A cheap hatchet with a fiberglass handle, and that's kind of what I like. And a rubber grip, that's definitely something I like. I use this all the time. If you ever put up a tent, I use it this is the only tool I use on my stakes. I think it works great. I have cut trees that have fallen on road down with it, but this is how much space they take compared to this. Now this weighs more, and if weight is your primary concern, then this weighs more, and they're going to be about the same price. So this was $30 and $15, so this is about $45. It's about the same in price. These are tools I'm always going to have with me. I have a little bigger rig. I have the room for this. I'm always going to carry these, and that's what I recommend for you. But if it's nothing or this, buy this. This is a Morkniv. This is a little more expensive one of the Morkniv knives. So this is probably closer to $60, but they got knives as cheap as 12 bucks, 15 bucks. They are spectacularly good knives. And not just for their price. They're good knives all by themselves. So spend $10, $15 to get a Morkniv knife. You should have a good knife on board. So that's all I have to say about this. That's my opinion. If you don't have anything else and you have 50 bucks, buy this. Take up the least amount of room. It's a little heavy. And if you can afford the space, this is for about the same price. You can buy a real shovel, a real hatchet, and a real knife. This is like $5 more total. Okay, I hope that helped you. And one of these days, when you're out in the middle of nowhere and a tree falls down and you don't have a hatchet, but you remember, oh, I listened to Bob and I bought that stupid Chinese toolkit, you'll be glad you have it, because you'll chop that tree down. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It doesn't matter. If you spend a whole day just chopping away at it, work for an hour, take an hour off, work for an hour. After a day, you're going to chop down almost any tree that's fallen across the road. You're going to be glad you had that. All right, I hope that was helpful to you, and some point in your life, you'll look at this and say, man, I'm so glad I bought that. Bob was right. And if not, I'm carrying a spare. And I've never said I've carried a spare for 40 years and I've used it one time, I'm throwing the thing away. I've never said that. That's exactly how I look at this. So, I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and remember, folks, remember this most of all. If you don't ever remember anything else Bob ever said, remember, die with the wonderful, amazing memories, with a life full of joy, instead of, I wish I could have, I wish I should have lived a better life. Don't come to your deathbed with that being your thought. Talk to you later.